Hey guys, today we are on Module 12, Lesson 4, Compare Decimals. And today we're going to be able to use decimal models, number lines, and place value charts to compare decimals. You're going to be able to use less than or greater than and equal to write decimal comparisons. So we use less than, greater than, and equal to compare our numbers today. So the question is, Jacob is going to the market. He wants to walk the route that is the shorter distance. So I'm going to underline shorter distance. So I want the smaller, the less number. Which of the two routes should Jacob take, red or orange? So we can see right here, the red one is 74 hundredths, okay? And the orange route is 8 tenths. So it says shade the hundredths model for each decimal distance. Well, I want you to remember in the other lesson when we were comparing tenths and hundredths, you can add a 0 to the end of your number. So even though this is 8 tenths, we only are writing in one place value position. So we could change this number to 0.8 and add a 0 because 0.8, decimal 8 tenths, is equal to 80 hundredths. So you just add a 0. This one has 2 digits. After the decimal, this one should have 2 digits. So let's shade it in. So we have 74 hundredths. That's going to be 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 70. We're going to shade in 4 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that represents 74 hundredths. The next one we have 8 tens. 8 tens is also equivalent to 80 hundredths. So let's shade in 8 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one we have 2 rows left of 10. So that one was actually shaded more. Compare the distances, write less than, greater than, or equal to. So right here where we had 74 hundredths, we had 2 digits here. Well, I'm going to add a 0 behind the 8. So 74 hundredths compared to 80 hundredths because 8 tenths is equal to 80 hundredths. Okay? So 74 is less than 80. 74 hundredths is less than 80. So which route should Jacob take? He should take the one that is 74 hundredths. So he should take the red route, which is 0.74. Use the number line to check your answer. Find 74 hundredths and 8 tenths on the number line. So 74 hundredths, so that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 74, I'm going to count over 4 tick marks. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be about here. So that would be 0.74. Alright, if I want to do 80 or 8 tenths, I'm going to count over 8 tick marks because these are tenths. That's 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths. So right here is 0.8 because 8 tenths is equivalent to 80 hundredths. Clean up this. So that one is 74 hundredths. This one's 8 tenths. How does the number line support your answer? Well, it shows that 74 hundredths is closer to the 0 than 8 tenths. 0.74. 74 hundredths is closer to 0 than 8 tenths. The 8 tenths. So we want to go the shorter distance. So 74 hundredths is shorter than 1/8 tenths or 80 hundredths. On the next page, this is a short lesson today. Mia cuts 2 44 hundredths pounds, so 2 44 hundredths pounds of yellow watermelon and 2 41 hundredths pounds of red watermelon. Does Mia cut more yellow watermelon or more red watermelon? So let's compare. So we're going to do, I'll use green for 244. So 2 is my whole number, 4,400, so that one's the yellow watermelon. The red watermelon is 2 and 4,100, so 2 decimal 41. And let's compare the numbers. So the 2's are the same, the 4's are the same, and the hundredths is where, so this is what number we're going to look at to compare. Compare the digits in each place value. Start with the greatest place value. So we're going to start in the ones place where our whole number is. So we have 2 1s, that's equal. 2 1s and 2 1s. The tenths place, we have 2 4s, so those are equal, 4 tenths. And in the last one we have 4 hundredths and 1 hundredth. So we know that 4 hundredths is greater than 1 hundredths. So we know that 2.44, the yellow, I'll do it like that. So the yellow watermelon has more. So complete the comparison. 2 and 44 hundredths is greater than 2 and 41 hundredths. So Mia cuts more yellow watermelon. And if I had written yellow, it wouldn't show up. Alright, at the bottom, I want you to do number 1 and 2 on your own. So pause the video, complete number 1 and 2, and check understanding, and then start the video back to see if you got them right. Alright, so you should have completed 1 and 2. Number 1 says shade the hundredths model and use the number line to compare 3 tenths and 18 hundredths. Write less than, greater than, or equal to. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, if I've got this is 1 digit and that's 2 digit, I'm going to add a 0. So now it's both fair. I'm still comparing 2 digits. Okay? I'm going to make that 30 hundredths instead of 3 tenths. Because 0.3 is equal to 30 hundredths. 3 tenths, so that's like 3 dimes, 3 tenths is the same as 30 cents or 30 hundredths. Okay? So I'm going to shade. 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths. 3 tenths is the same as 30 hundredths. Alright, the next one is 18 hundredths. So I'm going to shade 1 tenth and 8 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 18 hundredths. So we have 3 tenths is greater than 18 hundredths. So then it says compare on the number line. So on the number line, we're going to look at it as 1800. So this is 0.1. This is 0.2. So this is 10, 11, 12. I'm going to count the tick marks till I come to the 8th one. So right here is 0.18. And the next one's 3 tenths. So that's 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths. So right here is 0.3. We're looking right here and right here. Number 2, use the place value chart to compare the decimals. Write less than, greater than, or equal to. So we're going to write 1.55. So 1 and 55 hundredths compared to 1.52. 1 and 52 hundredths. Well, the easiest thing is to look right here in the hundredths. The 5 is greater than 2. So we know that 1 and 55 hundredths is greater than 1 and 52 hundredths. Guys, whenever we do decimals, I'm going to keep going back and referring to it as money. So which one would you rather have? $1.55 or $1.52? So $1.55 is greater than $1.52.